All right, guys, this is case dismissed again, and I'm just going to do a quick video on traffic tickets. It's kind of the main thing we do here. And I'm going to go over my ticket. So, I got a ticket. It was, I was outside Fort Worth. I apparently ran a stop sign. There was a construction site, and the stoplight was out, so they had cones up. Well, I stopped. I don't know why they didn't think I stopped, but the traffic was going like 5 miles an hour. So I stopped whenever I was driving down the road, and the cop was behind me, and I didn't have tags. They dismissed that for some reason. I don't know why. So ran a stop sign, no tags, and the officer told me, you know, hey, because I didn't want to sign the ticket. I was pretty pissed off. He said, if you don't sign the ticket, I'm going to arrest you, take you to jail. And when I do my consultations with you guys, you know, don't argue on the side of the road. Just, you know, take your ticket, beat it in court. It's really easy. This ticket actually didn't file anything, didn't do anything. And now remember, for all you guys, I have the Copper Moonshine passport. I've got the redeem your securities process, secure party creditor process. I've validated everything. I've authenticated birth certificate. I've done everything. Equity, parse syntax, stamps. I mean, I've done everything. They still give me a ticket. They don't care. That stuff doesn't work. You don't need to do that stuff. But anyways, I got this ticket, and I've had a few tickets in the past few years, and I've tried every process to get rid of these tickets. Bonding them, sending in payments, refuse for cause on the ticket. Guys, that's just going to give you a warrant. And next time you get pulled over or get messed with, you're going to jail. So don't think that refuse for cause, writing it on the ticket, sending it back, they're going to proceed. They're going to give you a warrant. You're going to get, you know, in trouble. So just fight the ticket. And I've discovered two really simple ways to beat the ticket. They both work routinely. A friend just got a ticket. She was going 30 miles an hour over the speed limit, following too closely. It was $800 to $1,000 ticket. She did my process, and the prosecutor immediately said, hey, would you be willing to take a plea deal and just do a $200 fine and be on your way? And she's busy. She was just like, you know, I don't have time for all this stuff. So yes, I'll take $800 off and walk out of here. So sometimes winning isn't always getting the case dismissed. Sometimes it's, you know, getting a plea deal that's favorable to you and just, you know, lowering the price or cost, or, you know, not going to jail. But in this case, we'll talk about this ticket. I took it to trial. I entered a plea of not guilty, and I didn't file anything throughout this process before the trial. So the morning of the trial, I did file one document, and, you know, right as I was headed into my trial. So it wasn't really part of the record at the hearing. And so I had the trial, selected a jury, went back and forth with the prosecutor, even got him to object to his own officer talking, which was, the jury had a laugh about that because the judge was like, this is your witness. You don't want him to talk? He's like, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I pretty much had this officer not knowing who I was, what car I drove, where I was, and what happened. He pretty much couldn't, you know, by the time I got finished with him, he didn't know who he was. But it didn't matter. I still feel these juries are controlled. I feel there's, you know, someone on the inside. I don't really trust these juries. I don't trust traffic courts. They're not real courts, you know. So anyways, as you see here, the verdict and the finding, I was found guilty. They found me guilty, said I had to pay, I don't know, I think it was like $300. And so I was pretty pissed off because I felt I did really good in the trial, and wasn't very happy. And because like I said, I've tried everything, and I was pretty upset. But I would say about 4 hours later, I was driving to go get my kids from school when the prosecutor called. And he called and said, hey, just want to let you know I looking over our trial today, our trial notes, and I left out some evidence. And I was like, okay. So, I was like, why are you calling me to tell me this? This is kind of weird. I've never had an attorney call me, after a trial or after a hearing or anything like that. It was kind of odd. But he said, listen, I made a mistake. So he goes, so here's what I'm going to do. And he made it sound like, this was, he was just being so nice. He's like, oh, I'm going to be in front of the judge here in a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and request that we just go ahead and dismiss this ticket. And I was like, okay. He goes, do you have any objections to that? I said, no, that's fine. Do what you need to do. And so he dismissed the ticket, which is odd because, he overturned a jury verdict. Isn't that the most sacred thing in law, is a verdict from your peers, So he overturned it. And which is funny what he said, because he said that he left out some evidence. Well, that was one of my main defenses in my traffic ticket. Now, remember, traffic tickets are, as I've been told by judges, quasi-criminal. They're criminal, but there's really no chance to go to jail. So it's more of a, like I said, commercial contract. So my issue was, if this is criminal, then I did not receive a probable cause hearing. So in every criminal case, you have to have a probable cause hearing. That's a hearing before a trial, before the case continues, where both sides go over all the evidence of the case, and then the judge decides if there's enough evidence to proceed to a trial, or he can dismiss the case right then and there. Well, I brought that up. I told the judge, I said, hey, I was not given a probable cause hearing. And the prosecutor jumped up, and the probable cause hearing is something that you cannot waive, and they cannot refuse you, in having one. They have to give you a probable cause hearing. It's a failure of due process. And I brought that up. The prosecutor said, yes, Your Honor, he is correct. We have not had a probable cause hearing. Well, to get around it, the judge said, well, let's just have it right now. And, this is just a simple traffic stop. There's no evidence besides just the police officer. And we had a big, 30-minute hearing over all the evidence. And, both sides were satisfied with that. All the evidence available was there. It was just simple, dash cam footage of the stop, of him giving me the ticket. There really wasn't, you really couldn't tell in the video if I stopped or not. There was other cars in the area. So, from his vantage point, the driver had a decent viewpoint. I could see what the driver could have seen better than the camera. But anyways, that's really all the footage there was. There really wasn't much other evidence. So the fact that he called me and made up some lie about he left out some evidence, when there really was no other evidence that could have existed, except for what I filed. And I didn't file a motion. I didn't file any pleadings. I simply filed one document into the case file. And it's on the website. It's a $10 download. And that's all I did. I literally filed this one document as I walked in to start my trial for the traffic ticket. And it overturned a jury verdict, as you see here. Like I said, the verdict was guilty, and current status is dismissed. So, actually on here, I actually have two processes. So, when you enter the plea, you waiving all your rights. That's why when you go into traffic court, and you guys talk about your right to travel, your constitutional rights, blah, 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 this is not a constitutional court. They don't care. They're really just going to get pissed off and say, are you finished? Once you enter that plea, you've entered a contract in them. It's hard to break until now. But I have two processes on here to beat a traffic ticket. One is, as soon as you get it, what to file before you enter a plea to get the case dismissed. And then the second one is after you've entered a plea, or really it can work anytime. You file one document, and what that does is they're going to continue the charade. When you file this first document that I filed for that trial, they're not going to throw their hands up and say, you got me. You know, it doesn't work that way. They're not going to say, you're right, I'm wrong, you win, case over. They're going to continue the intimidation process. They're going to continue to say, hey, the officer's here, we're going to have this trial. You're going to think, oh, crap, it doesn't work. No, it works. Go through with it. Push it all the way to the end, because they cannot win in the end. With what I file into the case record, they cannot complete the process. So just continue to go through with it. People get intimidated and scared. Like my friend, she took the plea deal, but it was a good plea deal. I mean, it was a $800 or $1,000 ticket. He said, hey, you pay $200, we're done. You can get out of here. Because her ticket was taking about a year. These processes can take a while, mainly because it was a big city she was in. They kept getting overbooked, so they kept having to delay her hearings. She would show up, be there for 4 or 5 hours. They did that twice, and then they were like, well, you're going to have to extend. And every time they do that, it was like 90 to 120 days. So she was just tired of it. And I think that's another tactic that they do, is they knew they couldn't win, but they got $200 out of her. Both sides were happy. The court got $200. She didn't have to pay $1,000, and she didn't have to go to court anymore. But it works. It puts everything in your favor. And honestly, guys, this download right here and one of my YouTube videos about bonds, if you put those two together, it helps you in any criminal case. So just remember that. This will help you with any kind of criminal case. So get the download. It's $10. Like I said, I've done everything you can do for a traffic ticket, and this is by far the most effective and the easiest. Everything I do, all the stuff that's on this site, are very, very simple processes. I don't like complicated. It's very easy stuff. So that's the traffic ticket story. It's it was a fun day. Overturned a jury verdict, just with one filing, and that's it, guys. So just like I said, go online, get the download. It's got 2 processes to beat a traffic ticket. And then also, like I said, I have a video on GSA bonds. If you put the GSA bonds and this download together, you've got a pretty good package to beat any kind of criminal case where there's no injured party, of course, or property damage. This is all about the state of versus you. So, and their, commercial contracts. So guys, that's the latest video here from Case Dismissed. If you have any issues, I do recommend a consultation if you have any questions, have any issues. I've been doing a lot of consultations lately, guys. And just to verify, I don't really do foreclosures. I'm getting that child support and foreclosures. Everyone's asking about child support and foreclosures. I don't like to mess with child support because those situations are just, they're between you and your baby mama or whatever they are. I don't want to get involved in that. Foreclosures are tough because judges' pensions are backed by foreclosures, so it's almost fighting a criminal empire, and it can be dangerous. And I've never seen anyone with a lot of success with foreclosures. I have some ideas on foreclosures and how to fight them, but I can't guarantee it. It's not a product I offer. Guys, mainly what I'm doing is, credit repairs, consultations, debt collectors, civil cases, traffic tickets, criminal cases, discharge your car loan, get your CUSIP, like I said, fix your credit, stuff like that, help you out in general legal matters. Foreclosures is just an animal, and I do have some ideas that could possibly work, but it's just not something I'm going to offer. Everything else is stuff that I do daily. So that's just want to let y'all know, I get a lot of consultations and everyone's asking me about child support and foreclosures. Now, child support's a contract that you signed. You don't have to sign that contract. You can use equity and suretyship, right here to get out of your child support. Because it's just a contract between you and the state. State gets their money, they give it to the other parent. It's just all about contracts. So check us out, casesdismissed.com, YouTube, Facebook, website, you know, come get the product. I'm going to be doing hopefully episode 3 here soon on the discharge car loan. And the problem is just there's just a long time between getting the loan and when that first payment was due. It's like almost 2 months. So there's just going to be a big gap between episode 3 and hopefully episode 4 will be the 1099-C, the finale, and showing how it works. And like I said, guys, this bond video right here, if you watch this video and then buy the traffic process, those 2 things can really help you in all your criminal cases. And just remember, this video right here is really good. You know, what to do when you get arrested. Don't consent to Miranda rights. Always say I don't understand. And always request your private civilian due process. Don't enter a plea. And when you don't enter their contracts, eventually they're just going to have to kick you out of court because they can't keep you. There's no contract. So watch these videos. They got some good information. And guys, have a good day. Let me know. Get in touch with me. Book a consultation. Buy a package. And, you know, leave a good review. And have a good day.